So this morning I was supposed to meet the hog chapter up here at Moonshine Harley Davidson, and I was going to actually go on a ride with those guys to Lynchburg, Tennessee, to the Jack Daniel's distillery. I overslept. I was up doing some stuff late last night with work. I don't know where this which way the wind's coming here. I was up doing some stuff late last night with work, and I was up probably till around 2 in the morning, and for whatever reason, when I decided to go to sleep, I forgot to set my alarm. So I came up here to meet the guys just to show support that way. So I'm going to catch them as they're pulling in. Hopefully they'll pull in here in a couple minutes. I just heard from one of them said they're right down the road. So we'll see. So right behind me, Hog Chapter 2715 pulled in for the Lynchburg ride. Okay, Ronnie. Tina. Nancy. I'm just now leaving Moonshine. I'm still a little disappointed that I missed that ride this morning. I talked to everybody and actually thought I had my GoPro running, but I did not. You know, I had some footage with a couple of the guys and gals. We were talking from the Hog Chapter. They were telling me about the ride. They're also awesome. They said, oh, it was terrible. You didn't miss anything. But of course I had talked to a couple of them while they were on their ride, and they said that there were so many motorcycles up in Lynchburg. It was so beautiful. The weather felt great. It still feels great now. So I hope everybody got out and was able to get some ride time in today on this beautiful day. This is a Saturday when I'm filming this. It just feels amazing. When I looked at the temperature earlier, it said like 78 degrees or something like that. It just feels so good. And the pollen's not even terrible. I got out the other day and I thought my sinuses were gonna cave into my head. The pollen was so bad. So when I put that video out, the episode where I was talking about my chewing tobacco story and getting busted as a kid, somebody put on there in the comments something about Earl Campbell, the running back for the Houston Oilers. And I don't know, man, I guess it was in the 80s or something. I can't remember the dates. And I commented I have a story about that, so I might as well tell you guys that story now. I was in elementary school, and I heard, and I lived in Houston, Texas, Missouri City. I'm not sure how far out that is from each other, just maybe like 20 minutes or so, maybe, I don't know, I could be wrong. But I lived there, and for some reason the Houston Oilers, we had this park, a recreation center, relatively close to our neighborhood. You literally only had to take a few streets over, and then someone set up a ramp over this bayou. And I'll have to tell you my bayou stories as a kid another day as well. So all the kids got word that one morning the Houston Oilers were supposed to have some type of practice for whatever reason in this recreational center a few blocks away. If I remember this story correctly, and I was a little kid, I was in elementary school, you have to remember, but this is the impression that it left on me as a kid. It was early in the morning, so we got on our bicycles and we asked our parents, hey, can we just be late to school? We want to go see the Oilers. And they were like, yeah, that's fine. So me, a couple of my friends, my brothers, we all jumped on our BMX bicycles. I think I had a Mongoose back then. We rode down there, and sure enough, the Houston Oilers were out there practicing. Well, they're on the field practicing. They have on shorts, shirts, and a helmet. And I decided that I had brought with me a marker and a sheet of paper because I was going to get autographs, and I was a huge fan of Earl Campbell as a little kid. As soon as we pull up on our bicycles, I see Earl Campbell right off the bat because this dude's thighs are humongous. I'm a little bitty kid, and I swear when I finally met him and stood beside him, his thighs were wider than my body, like one thigh. So that brings me to that part of the story when I decided that they're practicing and everybody's standing on the sidelines just watching them practice, and I want Earl Campbell's autograph. Well, the type of person that I've always been is I've always decided that if I wanted something bad enough, I would just try to figure out how to do it. And I guess even as a little kid, this is the way I was. Hold on, I'll tell you a second here when I get moving. So here I am, a little kid, wanting Earl Campbell's autograph. And I just decided that, hey, I'm gonna get it. Well, I saw him out there, he was in the huddle, and I just walked out onto the field, little bitty kid, decided I'm gonna get Earl Campbell's autograph. And they're all sitting out there, and I walked right up into the huddle, and they're all looking at me. And as a kid, I remember some of them laughing, and I didn't understand why they were laughing. But now as an adult, I completely understand why they're laughing. I walk into the huddle, and they all look at me, and I walk right up to Earl Campbell and said, Mr. Campbell, can I please have your autograph, sir? I just want you to sign this piece of paper for me. And he looks at me and he starts laughing. He kind of pats me on the head. He's kind of like, he goes, after practice, kid, after practice, go back over to the sidelines. Well, I said, okay, sir. And I went back over to the sidelines. Well, I stood there long enough again, and I thought, man, I'm not going to wait anymore. I want his autograph. Well, they got closer to us. Hold on, I gotta try to find a place to park over here. It's like they get this whole side blocked off for whatever reason. So after I waited long enough again, I decide, you know what? He's close enough to me again, and he runs this little route over to me. And then he kind of stops, and I stepped out again. I said, Mr. Campbell, sir, can I please have your autograph? Can I please have your autograph? And he looks at me, I run up to him again. after practice, kid, after practice, and he's laughing. He pats me on the head. I go back over to the sidelines again. I'm a little bothered by it because I really want his autograph. So I really want his autograph. A little bit goes by again. They huddle up again. And I just tell myself, I'm getting this man's autograph. So I run out there again. And this time a coach or somebody stops me halfway out there. I just remember somebody says, "Oh, kid, that's enough, son. If you can't follow the rules, you can't be here." Well, about that time, Earl Campbell runs over and he said, "Come here, son." And he goes, "You want my autograph that bad?" I said, "Yes, sir." And of course I said, "You're one of my favorites." And he asked me who my favorite was. And I told him, I said, "Tony Dorsett's my favorite, but you're one of my..." He just, "Oh no," he starts laughing. He said, "Well, I appreciate your honesty. I tell you what," he said, "come here." And he signed, I give him the paper, he signs my autograph for me. And you know, I didn't bring a camera or anything. Back then we didn't have cell phone cameras. And you know, he's like, "Thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate it. You're a true fan, and I really appreciate it." Well, I got my autograph. I was ready to go. Everybody else is wanting to get their autographs. And then at that point, they had locked down the sidelines, and they said nobody else go on the field or we're going to make everybody leave. So I got everybody in trouble. But I did get my Earl Campbell autograph. Downtown Franklin is hopping. Once again, guys, I always appreciate you guys watching these episodes. If you have not already, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It helps me out a whole lot. I appreciate it. Also, hit that subscribe button and become a part of the OMG Nation. Thanks for watching, everyone. Look, I've got... Oh, stall.